the real legwork.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
That is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. Come on. Why would you do that? You're like it's the worst.
Why not
That's the
want
worst.
to enjoy the game that you're playing? You're like, I don't want to do the majority of what this game is. I just want to be awesome at it later.
I just bought a barbarian for $1,000 on the internet, and I could slay everybody. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like I get endeared to my RPG characters. Like, I mean, just from playing D&D when I was a kid. Did you guys ever play D&D?
a little bit.
Yeah, I've actually had friends recently approach me about it and tell me that I should join them. So I will be going on a quest at some point.
Well, don't rush to your first quest. I would say, make sure you've had at least your 17th puberty before you start questing.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
That's why I want to know where I'm at in my puberties.
I haven't been following you that directly. You should be able to. You should be keeping a puberty journal about this, Amy.
It's true. Because I never did any D&D when I was growing up, but now my husband is very D&D. So though we've played Magic together, which I know is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my life is D&D. In general.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's.
Plus, Wendell has a D&D-esque show that he does.
Yeah. It's called Adventure, and we let it's D&D in the sense of it's mostly a fantasy setting, but we also let the crowd roll dice that sort of decides different decisions in the show, like whether or not we go over the bridge or under the bridge, whether or not. One time we did it, and it actually decided who survived at the end of a zombie outbreak, and that was pretty fun.
I wish Dan was here to hear this. I'm pretty sure he's into Dungeons and Dragons, right? Is Dan into that?
I don't know.
He is now.
Okay. Yeah.
Now that we said it on the internet, it's true.
Yeah.
D&D nerd Dan.
Don't Google it.
Yeah, no, but let's take it back to improv now, because I could literally ruin y'all's day with this.
Take it in, Wendell. Take it down.
Let's bring it back. So does Man Dude Bro, do you guys do, what's your format for improv?
Oh, good question.
Do you guys just do standard montage? Do you do the Herald? What do you guys do exactly? Like the Armando?
We have a pretty standard approach in that we like to interview an audience member
Sure.
for the top of the show. Get that buy-in. A lot of our audience is maybe new to the art form. We're not performing for a bunch of improvisers a lot, which is a little atypical. A lot of people in the room are I guess we'll call them normies.
That sounds awesome. Though.
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
Yeah, so we'll do that interview, and then from there we really do just more often than not end up in a standard montage. Sometimes we'll talk about form and structure. We did an accidental mono scene a couple weeks ago where about 15 minutes into the set we realized there was no editing or tag outs, and so we just silently did a mono. We all agreed and got through it. We've done the Cromps before, which has been very fun. For a while we were doing we tried to do our own form very early on, probably too early on for us to try and invent something.
Reconstruction kind of thing.
Yeah. We called it the exploding dinosaur pillow fight.
Love it.
The best part of it was the name. Well,
yeah.
You know what?
It's still a good form.
It is. I mean,
I think if we revisited it, it'd be
the
good.
experiencing of doing it and trying it was very valuable. But the show that we do right now is largely an audience interview, and then whatever happens.
That's cool. Here, because there are 5 major improv theaters in Austin, so I'm not gonna say there's a saturation. There's a big community here, so it seems like a lot of the times when a new troupe pops up, there's a push to kind of set yourself apart from what everybody else is doing. So my first improv troupe was we tried to sort of just take bits and pieces from several different formats, and just to kind of give ourselves some structure. We used to basically we did terrible TV sitcom pilots, and we would just start off with the title and then just improvise everything from there. Like Bee's Company, stupid shit. But Bee's Company was like my favorite one. But yeah, no, like that's really cool that like you guys just kind of tried different stuff. I think like putting a box around yourself kind of can add stress to, you know, like a new forming troupe or like a new group of friends or whatever. So it's yeah, I think it's a great idea just to kind of just be like, hey, we're just gonna do something. We're just gonna find out we did something after we did it.
Yeah, and we have like friends in New York that perform regularly up there and everything else. And a lot of the time, you hear them talk about how their coaches focus on form more than performance, and how it can be kind of annoying because, you know, at the end of the day, like you once you know a form, you could practice it a couple of times, but like, you know, it kind of gets ingrained,
Yeah.
and then you should be focused on the performance. But there's like full on, you know, there's times where there'll be people that are like coach heavy, like that try to just do form for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And I've talked to other performers that just like kind of like feel tired about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think, you know, form is a beautiful thing if it serves the performer, but I feel like too often there's so much, like, the wrong kind of emphasis is put on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, like, I get it, we all want to learn new stuff and try new stuff, but, like, I think we just, like, churn through form as a way to maybe sometimes monetize improv, where we're like, oh, you got to learn this form, take this workshop, take this class. And that, I guess that's overly cynical. I know that's not always the case, but, you know, the things that drive me nuts are where it's just like, all right, well, why are you actually doing that form as a performer? Like, if you're in an opportunity where you have the choice to do a form, do you actually want to do it, or are you just doing it because, like, you feel outside pressure to do it and, like, someone made you do it, you know?
Yeah. Like I think like the Herald, which is like, you know, usually people like do that a lot. Like, if anything, I mean, that form it taught me how to do analogous scenes, and it taught me how to do group scenes, which I think is the focus of it. And that, like, from there, like, I learned that kind of skill set from that form, and then apply it to kind of just a general improv.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone I've ever talked to about it really agrees that I mean, as long as everybody up on the stage looks like they're having fun and they're, like, friends and they get along, then, like, a lot of the shit outside of that kind of just drops to the side, you know? It's one of those, like, just as long as you look like you're having a good time up there, most of the time the audience is gonna have a good time with you.
Yeah.
Right, well, it's like rules, right? Rules in improv. Like, why do we learn the rules? We learn them so we know how to break them. It's the
Yeah.
same with form. You learn the form so you know how to break it. You know, you use it when it benefits you. But, like, don't become a slave to it, because who is benefiting from that? Like, it's not fun for you to do, and it's probably not fun for the audience to watch. So
Yeah.
why is it?
It's funny watching people that are on the back line, like, stress about what is coming up next. And you see that, like, you know, you said, if you're having fun, the audience feels that. But if you're watching an entire back line stressed out as to, like, which part of the Herald they're in, it just kind of sucks the fun out of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like, as organic and free-flowing, like, as a thing improv is, you know, it's like to get super textbook with it, yeah, like, exactly, like, you're just not going to have fun, you're just going to be trying to execute a play, you know?
Right.
Yeah, my least favorite part about formats are when you feel like you have to resolve something. Like, I'm like, let it go. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The beauty of improv is the fact that it's over, and now you never have to look at it again.
Yeah.
Like just let it be whatever it is. I teach level 1 improv, and one of the things that I like to think of, and I find that because I teach level 1 improv, all of my improv relates back to this. But I like to think of everything as, like, just a new way to communicate with your scene partners, right? So whenever I add format to, like, a group that I'm coaching, I'm like, the reason why we're going to do this is because you know that's something that you're doing. The audience doesn't know, so you need to find a way to communicate with each other, so why don't you do this?
Right.
I had a troupe that...
That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
I had a troupe that did a musical show, and we were given 45 minutes always to do our musical show, but we wanted to have like an opening and a closing number. And the only way that we could do that is that one person, or all of us, usually one person, let's be honest, kept an eye on the clock. And the way that person would communicate to the rest of us that it was time for us to get to the final song, because we'd all just be involved in the scenes, we'd forget what time it was, and we'd be like in the world, and all of a sudden one of us would turn to the group and mention something French. Like they'd say something like, oh, I could really go for some French fries right now. And any reference to anything. Or they used a French word, or they said, oh, Paris would be a beautiful place to go. Like, whatever French thing that person brought up, all of a sudden, all of us knew, okay, it's time for us to get to the final song now. And nobody ever questioned, but it was our own little, like, communication thing for each other. And it just was this tiny little bit that helped us keep the flow of the show and get the opening and closing number the way we wanted it.
Yeah. Did anybody read into it too, way too early? Like you say something that just naturally ended up being French, and then like you guys cut the show short by accident?
No, that never happened. Because the theater that we perform at also has a huge clock, but we just don't look at the huge clock. So somebody would be like, hey, who wants to go to Paris? And then we'd glance up at the clock. So if it were like 10 minutes in, it'd be like, I don't want to go. And like, great, okay.
I don't think it's time for Paris.
Yeah, Paris later.
We might adopt that and then just talk about flat Earth, like as the...
Yeah!
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys heard that the Earth is flat? Let's go!
You know how dumb people are that think it's spherical? Anyways, no.
Oh, man.
Right.
We like to call
Coming
ourselves
out,
flat
everybody. Have a good time
earthers.
tonight. Yeah.
Have a great night, guys, and when you're heading home, just try not to drive off the edge of the earth. Okay.
Because then you'll see the turtle that the Earth is on the back of.
Oh, I like it. That's a good one.
That's
Big
the reason they think it's
turtle.
flat, right? No,
I don't know.
Is that? I mean, that's from Discworld, but I feel like that theory is just. I don't know. That's,
Wow, I don't know about that.
So are there other animals out in the space then too, or what?
Well, I think the
Or is
turtle.
there
Oh no,
just
wait.
one turtle Earth?
So I think it's like. I think the Earth is on the back. Whoa.
Whoa.
I think the Earth is like
You
on
still
the
there?
back. Yeah, can you guys hear us?
So we're just fortunate enough to be a turtle in space, but there's no other animals
Well,
out there
no.
as well?
So I've seen illustrations that would lead me to believe that the Earth is on the back of like 4 elephants that are standing on the back of the turtle.
What?
Oh.
And I think maybe
Wait,
all of this
so
is
we-
from Terry Pratchett's Discworld. I feel like there's going to be some... You know what? Because we don't Google stuff. It's not. It's not. This is like... this is from like
Right.
Mesoamerica.
Oh, Mesoamerica.
Mesoamerica!
I'm so sorry.
You know, I didn't realize.
Sorry. That
I
was
didn't realize we were
horrifyingly
basing so
offensive.
much on. I didn't
I'm so
realize we were
sorry.
basing so much on illustrations tonight.
You know, the very podcast-friendly sort of...
Right.
Just
It's
talk
a
about
great format.
visual things. Yeah, just things that you can't see.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
John's wearing a lot of lipstick right now.
Yep.
That's fine.
My lips are chapped.
He's been applying lipstick this entire time.
Yeah, for the
Wow.
whole however long it's been.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's like probably 3 sticks worth then, right?
Oh, wow, that
Yeah.
just gave me a great idea. Wendell, remind me of that after. Lipstick.
Oh,
I'm going to
you
use your
guys.
lipstick idea, and I'm going to make Wendell do something weird for our sketch show.
Thank you, man, dude, bro.
Anytime.
I'm
You know
so
what you should do?
glad.
You should put those eyelashes on too. Those things that like eyelash.
Yeah.
They're
Uh-huh.
pretty cool.
And then
Yeah.
also waterboard him.
Wait a minute.
All right.
This took a turn.
Yeah, let's not talk about things that would arouse me.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
No, now it took a
So-
turn.
Yeah, I'll help finish the turn that people start, just so
Oh,
that
boy.
our guests do not feel guilty about anything.
Yeah, and so the audience doesn't feel cheated because Wendell took it too far.
Well, it's funny because I just pulled out the tights for one of the neighborhood shows that I bought for that Christmas neighborhood.
you
I was
love
like,
wearing tights.
I do love. I feel so good in tights. You guys like tights? I don't know. It gets cold in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, you know, there's a big debate over in these parts of are tights acceptable as pants.
Okay.
Oh, well, they're not, so.
Yeah. See, I wear them underneath, kind of like I'm a never nude or something. Like I don't let everybody know I'm wearing tights, but I just feel